Let's cross straight now to Tig Enright, who is in London for us. Good to see you, Tig. To begin with, we know that calls are growing from inside Johnson's own party to either withdraw those comments or apologise, or both. But what is the word from Downing Street?
Hi, Helena. The answer is no. It has to be said, pressure has been mounting on Johnson for an apology long before the mobbing attack on Monday night, ever since he made those comments in Parliament last week, suggesting that Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, at a time when he was the country's top prosecutor, chose not to prosecute a high-profile television presenter from the 70s and 80s by the name of Jimmy Savile, who it turned out was a prolific child abuser. Johnson has resisted calls to apologise for those comments. He's trotted out loyal ministers to defend his comments. He chose only under pressure to clarify his comments at a later point, saying that Starmer was not personally responsible for the decision, but he has not apologised. And of course, the longer he continues to refuse to do so, the harder it would be for him to climb down and change his mind. So the message from Downing Street is that his condemnation of the attack on Keir Starmer that he made on social media shortly after the event is as far as he's going to go. But as you say, he has not only been widely criticised from outside of his Conservative Party, but also within his Conservative Party. Limited public criticism from his own MPs. It is largely from the same individuals who've already been calling for him to resign in recent weeks over the separate scandal about parties being held in Downing Street during the coronavirus lockdowns. But what those MPs are saying is pretty much in line with the public's mood. An opinion poll released in the last few hours by an organisation called Comres suggests that 69% of the general public believe that Boris Johnson's comments were responsible or caused that attack on Keir Starmer on Monday night. They've called on him to do so. And that's pretty much the same number who told the same pollsters a week earlier that they wanted Boris Johnson to resign over those parties held during lockdown. Helena?
Tig, as you mentioned there, coming off the back of an already turbulent week, one which has seen resignations, appointments, now, today, a mini reshuffle. Will that be enough to calm the pressure on Johnson right now?
Doubtful, I'd say. You say a turbulent week. It's really been a turbulent couple of months ever since those allegations of COVID parties started emerging. He's been trying his best to move on from the scandal, even though the investigations into it, a police investigation, still loom over him. As you say, the latest tactic is a reshuffle within his cabinet. It has to be said they're all pretty low-level jobs which have been reshuffled. He wouldn't want to shake things up too much with his senior team, lest any of them have a knife held behind their back, ready to signal their lack of confidence in him and seek to replace him. He's also been replacing some of the aides, the policy advisors who resigned towards the end of last week. Now, he's portraying this as his effort to clean up the Downing Street operation. This was what Boris Johnson promised as his response to the COVID lockdown parties scandal. But it's easy to see why some people would see it as more like rearranging deck chairs in the Titanic. Helena?